Hello everyone, my name is Abhishek and welcome back to my channel. So today we are here with one more episode of DevOps Podcasts with DevOps engineers, cloud engineers. And the goal of this podcast series is that we will try to understand the real-time problems that DevOps engineers face, their real-time day-to-day activities, and how does the cluster infrastructure, everything looks like. So today I have a special guest with me, Sangamesh. Sangamesh, do you want to introduce about yourself briefly to our audience?
Yeah. Hi, Abhishek. Hi, all. My name is Sangamesh. I have around 20 years of IT experience. In that 7 years, I was a Java developer, led the team and all. Then after that, in olden days, it was not a DevOps itself. It was called as a build and deployment and all the stuffs. So from that time onwards, from 2008 onwards, I have been working on this build tools, build and deployment. But and then because of my development background, I was able to the DevOps name itself, right? Dev and
Yeah,
Ops. I was able to do that activity. I was able to excel in those kind of activities. Yeah,
awesome.
and I have worked on a multi-cloud, AWS, Azure, as well as all the cloud native technologies. So yeah, so my day-to-day work, I work on different clouds as I'm a DevOps consultant, so who works on different technologies, different
Awesome.
stacks. So that is a brief about me. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, first of all, I would like to say that uh, we are all very happy that you are here because from your 20 years of experience, from your DevOps, from your development to DevOps transition, I think we'll have a lot to learn from you from this particular podcast. And I'll try my level best to extract as much as possible from you so that audience and subscribers who are watching it, they'll find it useful.
Thank you for inviting me, Abhishek.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So, Sangamesh, the very first thing that I want you to explain our subscribers is how does your day to day look like? Because now probably you are leading a team or you are managing a bunch of DevOps engineers. So on a high level, what does your team do, and what are kind of day to day activities that your team gets?
Okay. So what happens is I won't. I mean, I wear different hats. So as a
Okay.
DevOps consultant, even I need to lead the team as well as
Yeah.
I need to code as well. So as part of my work, depending on the project what I am working on, I would be wearing that kind of a hat. Yeah.
Okay.
So if I am a DevOps engineer itself, right? So usually how the work it happens is before any quarter starts, right? We will be
Mm.
having a EI planning. In that
Okay.
planning, we the backlogs it will be created. It is
Okay.
basically a stories bunch of DevOps tasks. It will be created, and as part
Got
of
it.
the next quarter, I mean. The coming as part of a PI planning, we create those stories and we start working on it. So
Got it.
each will be having a 2 week sprint. So during the start of sprint, we will pick up our tickets, and depending on that one, what type of is it if it is a provisioning work,
Hmm.
then we will use if the project is expecting a Terraform, it has to be used, or in ARM template or a bicep. Depending
Got
on
it.
that one, start our work and provision the resources as part of a ticket. So everything it is derived from the ticket itself, a
Got it.
Jira ticketing tool or Azure board ticketing tool, whichever the project expects us. So
Okay.
as part of our activities, we will start it off the work depending on the set criteria. We have to definition of a done. It will be mentioned out, and according to that, as a DevOps engineer, I'll start working on it. Yeah.
So basically, because our audience are from different levels, so
Yeah.
just to make them understand, so PI planning is just like a high level meeting that involves all the stakeholders like the managers, product owners, scrum masters, all level of stakeholders. And once in 3 months or 6 months, people come together and decide that, okay, this is what we have to work in the quarter. And then what Sangamesh said is, this is overall for a quarter. But in Agile, we make small targets and we start working on that small targets. That is nothing but the sprint, right?
Correct.
And
Yeah.
in the sprint, you have bunch of tickets which will tell DevOps engineers what you need to work for the next couple of weeks or next 3 weeks, however you keep your sprint size as, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Now, Sorry, you are saying something?
To add on that, usually
Yeah,
the Scrum Master on a daily basis, people will in a daily stand-up what it has been done in previous day,
exactly.
and the day-to-day we will try to find it out. The DevOps engineer, what all the things he has done it, whether it
Awesome.
has been blocker and all those stuff. So those are all the ceremonies we do it on a day-to-day
Awesome.
basis.
So one question that people who are new to DevOps they ask me is that okay, so now as a DevOps team, you will start working on creating CI/CD or you'll set up Terraform infrastructure. Now
Yeah.
people have this question that okay, let's say there is an application, you have set up the CI/CD, you have set up the Terraform. Okay, probably it takes couple of weeks. What will you do after that? Okay, so I know, being an experienced engineer, you might think that okay, there is a lot of things to do, but for people who are just starting with DevOps, can you
Yeah.
please explain that okay, you set up CI/CD, you set up Terraform, there are 100
Yeah.
applications probably, but
Yeah.
what does your day-to-day activities look like, and what is keeping your team busy?
Okay. So, I mean, it is, I mean, when we start it out, right? On a high level, if you ask me, right, there will be three types of a pipelines. One is a provisioning pipeline, using infrastructure as a code tool, Terraform or some other tools, right? Bicep or ARM tool. So we
Yes,
create the or provision of our infrastructure. Then thereafter, second tool, it is a second pipeline. It's probably a CI, continuous
got it.
integration with code. The third bit will be continuous deployment, right? So
Yes,
will be from a lower environment, dev environment, test environment, and then production environment. So if I
yes,
take an example of Amazon.com, right? There is a festival is there, right? So 10 minutes delivery if they wanted to give it, right? So first some 6 months or 3 months before we develop in dev environment, we test
hmm.
it out there, and then we will move to the test environment. And when we say production environment, it is a live to the end user. As a user,
Got
if
it.
you want to purchase in Amazon.com, right? So we'll go and purchase it there. So once it has been built, right? So on a day-to-day life, right? So it is an iterative process. If you see the DevOps symbol,
Ongoing process. Yeah.
yes, it is a iterative process. So
Hmm.
next feature it will come, and again the cycle starts. Okay, as
It
part of
makes
our
sense.
DevOps bit, what we will be doing is we will be completely occupied with even the production issues.
Yes.
When the code moves on to the production, right? So that we need to support it as well as
Hmm.
part of our process. So
Got it.
we will be either developing a new feature or we will be supporting the existing infrastructure. So those all the stuffs we will be doing it. It is a never-ending story kind of a thing. So we will,
Exactly.
yeah.
One. So talking about it, can you tell me like how many development teams do you work with? Probably from your previous experience and current experience. Probably you can also tell an average, like because DevOps is one centralized team and we keep talking about it. But
Yes, yes,
usually, how many development teams that DevOps work with? And
yeah.
because, yeah, probably I'll ask the following question after that. For now, can you explain that?
Yeah. See, the thing is, in our world, how it works out is there are different kind of a DevOps engineer or different roles it will be there. Okay, so one second.
Yeah, sure.
If you are working on a platform engineer, right? So you will be a set of say 10 DevOps engineer group together will be working on it.
Okay.
All of your colleagues will be DevOps engineer itself. Okay,
Hmm.
so if you are we follow a hub and spoke model. Okay, hub
Got
in the
it.
sense platform team. So your colleagues will be all of your colleagues will be a DevOps engineer itself. Okay,
Got it.
if you are placed into a spoke team, okay, spoke
Hmm.
team consists of say a smaller team. So we call our agile team as a very small team, consists of a 7 to 10 team members. So
Got
in
it.
that members, it will be a 5 developers or 6 developers, one tester, and one or two DevOps guy will be there. Their
Okay.
responsibility to make sure that in the spoke environment they have to their application is built and deployed, and
Got it.
whatever the nitty is required, right? So they have to collaboratively work with the development team. So
Development team. Okay.
yeah,
So you are
so
saying that there is a centralized team, and
yeah,
depending upon the development teams that you support, you basically assign one DevOps engineer to that development team, and they
correct.
closely work with that team, right?
That's right. That's right. So
Okay.
if you're solely working on a platform team, you are responsible to make sure that your platform is up and running. If
Got it.
any new request it is coming up, that you need to support it. So those are all different tasks it will be that. So you need to work on it. And
Makes sense.
if you don't have any other tasks, so you may need to look for the security SecOps related bit, and as well as the how exactly you can improve your platform itself. So those are the
Makes sense.
tasks we work on it. Yeah.
Makes sense. Now, see, one more common question that people usually have is, okay, so you have a lot of development teams and you are supporting them. Now, how does the level of environments look like? Is it like if I just push my code to GitHub, right? Does it directly go to production, or what are the levels of environments that you usually have in organization? And for each level, do you have a Kubernetes cluster, or probably would love to hear from you?
Yeah. See, the thing is, it's again depends on company to company,
Okay.
right? If it is a large enterprise company, so we will be having a dev test
Hmm.
environment, pre-prod environment, probably performance environment, UAT environment, and then the production environment, it will be there. Okay.
Perfect.
But if I take on an average, if it is a small
Yeah.
company also, then minimum things it will be dev environment, test environment, and production environment. Minimum
Perfect.
3 environments it will be there. Okay.
Yes. Yes.
So when a developer adds a feature, for example, 10 minutes delivery, right? For
Yeah.
any e-commerce website, 10
Yeah.
minutes delivery. So it's a new feature comes in. So developer will work on his laptop.
Hmm.
He will test it out. He'll be working on a microservice model, right? So
Perfect.
everything it will be a containerized application. So he will test it on his laptop. Then once he is comfortable, his feature is working fine, right? Then what he will do is he'll push the code to
Hmm.
his repository. Then the CI starts. That is, CI
Perfect.
means continuous integration. It will keep on doing a deployment into the dev environment. Once
Hmm.
everything is tested, then the automated test cases also it will run on the dev environment as part of a CI
Perfect.
process.
Perfect.
And the manual tester also, some cases they will test it out.
Yeah. Yeah.
The testing team will be the gatekeeper for the whether it has to be deployed to the next environment, higher environment. That is the test
Promotion.
environment.
Promotion
Correct.
from dev
Of
to
our build.
test. Yeah.
Correct. Promotion of our build, right?
Yeah.
So that particular version, it has been once testers says a go ahead, obviously
Yes.
there will be approval process.
Yeah.
If you talk about Azure DevOps, there will be the pipeline, someone has to approve it manually, right?
Perfect.
And then the code will be moved to the test environment. Again, the same thing repeats.
Hmm.
Automated test suits runs, and manual tester will be there. They will test it out, and then thereafter he will say green signal saying that
Code is ready to
probably
move.
code is ready to move to the production. Probably at that
Perfect.
point in there will be all the stakeholder will take a go no go call kind of a thing. If they say
Exactly.
the testing cases say it is green, good to go
Yeah.
to production, then we will release to the production.
Perfect.
This is a normal case it happens. Coming back to Kubernetes cluster, right? So
Yeah.
usually how we do it is each environment we try to keep it as a segregate. Non-prod
Segregate.
environment, one structure, and production, one structure. Okay,
Perfect.
we call it as a demilitarization zone, DMZ
Hmm.
zones. Okay,
Hmm.
so that in non-prod environment, it is a dev environment and test environment comes into picture. Okay,
Yes.
so over we will give a little bit of a liberty. People can go and modify it and all the stuffs. Okay.
Okay.
Uh, and each environment will be having their own Kubernetes cluster. Okay,
Perfect.
irrespective of its cloud, right? Whichever cloud,
Yeah.
it's the same Kubernetes cluster. They
Yeah.
are renamed it as repackaged it as a different.
That's it. Yeah.
Right? So in dev environment, test environment, we test it out. So two clusters to answer specifically
Hmm.
dev one cluster or test another Kubernetes cluster, production another Kubernetes
Another
cluster.
Kubernetes cluster. Yeah.
Yes. So why we keep production separate is blast radius is bit it has been covered so that
Yes.
unauthorized people cannot access it. Okay.
Yes.
Even as a DevOps engineer, though we are supporting the production environment, we won't be having access to that. Okay.
Yes.
We have to raise a request, a particular request in a different cloud, a different way we do it. But in Azure, we create a PIM request and then someone has to hire a authority guys has to approve it.
Got it.
And then you will get access to that. And we do the work and then our access will be for a limited period of a time only.
Yes.
Okay. Once we complete our work, we'll get out of it. So
Perfect.
that is the way we do it. Yeah.
Yeah, I think you have very well explained about the entire workflow, because a lot of times people have this misconception that if I just push my code to the Git repository, then all this process happens automatically. Uh, it is very, very rare that, companies have the entire end-to-end automated process, because there is performance kind of testing, there is penetration kind of testing, and
Yes.
from one level to other level, like Sangamesh mentioned, initially you deploy your code to a dev Kubernetes cluster, and it consists of a lot of automated tests. But to ensure that move this code changes to QA environment, there has to be a approval given by the QA team, where they might perform some manual tests. It can be some tests that are not covered in the automated tests or any kind of things, right? And from there, again, you will take little time to verify all your changes on the test environment. And depending upon the release cycle that you have, you push it to the production environment, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect. So overall, how much time does your company take to go into this entire workflow, right? Right from planning to a release to deploying the applications to a release. I know it depends from company to company, but yeah,
Correct. On an average, right? So, I mean,
yeah,
in around 2010 and all, so we used to
mm,
take 2 months. I mean, if you go for a waterfall
yeah,
model,
yeah,
sometimes what used to happen was 6 months or 1 year, you will work on that particular
yeah.
project. And after that, project itself is scrapped. Okay,
Scrap,
whatever
yeah,
you have worked will be gone. Okay. Some of the times in late 2010, we used to write in our resume saying that I was successfully able to deploy to the production environment. That was a key criteria.
oh wow,
So that was the waterfall model. But in
yeah,
2010, when Agile came into picture, right? So 2 months usually we used to take it. Okay.
okay,
So complete cycle,
yeah,
dev to production. Later on, it is kind of a thing. It is a say 1 month process. Okay. So
perfect,
now on a general, right? So we iterate fast, meaning whatever the feature we wanted to do it, right? We will do a fail fast concept kind of a thing. I mean,
got it.
what it is you develop it. Okay, first 15 days, that's the first sprint. Our sprint is a 2 weeks
2 weeks
block.
sprint, okay, yeah,
Develop it, and then test in the second sprint, that is another 2 weeks. We will test it out in the dev CI. As part of CI, we have tested everything.
yeah,
We have done all the code quality analysis, static code analysis, everything, right? So in the
perfect,
test environment, we will test it out in production. So a smaller changes, but we will be doing it in frequent manner. Okay, that is what
amazing.
we are currently following it up.
Yeah. So now, to do all of these things, right? We are talking about a lot of continuous integration systems. We are talking about Kubernetes, Terraform, Ansible. So
Yeah.
DevOps is always, a learning journey, or it's a learning curve, because
Correct.
you have new concepts in the tool, and we always work on improving the efficiency. From 3 months,
Yes.
we want to get it to 2 months. Then we want to
Yes.
get it to 1 month. Then we want to get it to 15 days, right?
Correct.
So
Yes.
I would like to understand, can you talk about some challenges that you face? We are talking about the setup, we are talking about the automation, like
Yeah. Yeah.
anything that comes to your mind at this point of time, the challenges that you face, and how do you resolve those kind of things?
Yeah, I mean, I was blessed because I was having a development experience, right?
Yeah,
But
yeah,
again, is this 20, though 20 years, right? Because I have last 14 years, I am working in UK itself.
yeah,
Uh, I'll get a more hands-on itself. So
hmm,
the thing is, in my DevOps world, right? It is learn, unlearn, and relearn. Okay, these
okay,
are main required in our case at Telecom.
awesome, awesome,
So whatever in each every 6 months you get a new tool. Okay,
yes,
better than the other tool. So
yes,
you should have that learning mindset to learn the new things pretty quickly, and you should be able to implement it out. Okay, so I
got
am a
it,
firm believer of a practice and hands-on practice, and you need to deploy it, right? I mean,
perfect,
you will learn by practicing itself. Coming
yes,
back to the issues, right? So whatever the tool I am working on it, so as a in order to, if I'm learning new as well, right, I will spin up a Docker container, test it out, and then I practice it out. Okay, few of the issues what I have seen is, say for example, two-way mutual authentication, right?
hmm,
Microservice is talking to Kubernetes, right? So
Kubernetes,
in Yeah, two pods we have it. Okay, two microservices. It has to talk to each other and all, right? So, or it is sitting in some other namespace or some other different product itself. Okay.
Yeah.
So, general issues what we face is your application when you access it, somehow it is unable to from app gateway. It will request it will go to the API to your ingress controller or Istio, and then
Yes.
service to pod, right? So what I'm regular some of the times we have faced the issues is your certificate itself it has expired. Okay.
Okay.
What
Okay.
we require a two-way mutual authentication is basically whenever whoever is calling this or application, right, those
Yeah.
APIs, the right API or the valid call itself, it has to be routed through the your pod. Okay.
Yes.
So as part of that, we use a two-way mutual authentication, meaning certificate it will be kept it in the calling part and the on our application itself. So
Yeah.
whenever it interacts, it will do a handshake saying that, okay, boss, I am a valid resource, a valid
Got it.
request. Okay, our pod responds, our application responds with the, okay, if it is valid, then only I'll respond it. Okay,
Makes
some of
sense.
the time, what we have done is we keep it our certificate in KMS itself, right? Either certificate is expired, right?
Yeah.
Some of the time, again, some of the edge cases it will be there. The certificate itself it has expired and no one has known about it, right? So ideally, we configure alerting mechanism so that we'll be keep on polling the certificate validity bit. Okay. In some cases, if it has the edge cases, it has been lost, right? Then what happens is application is working today morning 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
After say until yesterday night, it was working fine. Today morning,
Yeah.
it's suddenly nothing has been changed. No deployment it has happened. So
Okay.
we'll be clueless, right? So why
Yes.
exactly facing this kind of error? Then again, what we need to do is we need to go inside the logs, try to find it out what exactly it went through, what is the error. Okay. In order to understand it, how I do it is it's basically top-down, southbound approach from top to bottom, how the request is flowing through. Okay.
Got it.
Then, as a you are kind of whenever you are doing a triaging, right, it is kind of a detective, right? So you
Okay.
need to rule
Yeah.
out which is not causing the issue.
Yeah.
And then you need to find it out, okay, this pieces or these components, these are all basically Lego box. Okay. So if you
Yeah.
attach all blocks, right? So somewhere something it will could have gone wrong. So that part you need to concentrate and divide and conquer. If you have a couple of team members, you can do a divide and conquer and identify and go to the pinpoint of the issue and try to fix that. So those
Awesome.
kind of issues I have faced it. Even in the Terraform, right? So you would be facing a version, right? So in particular version, Terraform version, few of the things were mandatory. Okay,
Yes.
non-mandatory. It was optional bit. Okay. Then what happens is suddenly due to some reason, right, that particular mandatory field, optional field become a mandatory.
Mandatory.
Okay.
Yeah.
Or default value it has got changed, true to
Change.
false, false to true, right?
Awesome.
And if someone has run the pipeline, it has made it as either it will break it or it will set the default value, which is
After the
against
version
the
upgrade.
correct.
After the version upgrade. Yeah.
Yes. So those are the issues we have seen it, right? Some of the times what will happen is you need to, in our case, observability, whatever you observe, right, whatever Terraform plan, you need to keep observing it. What exactly it is making the changes. Those are all the things are very important in our case.
Awesome.
Some of the times after issue has occurred, right, then we do a backtracking. But if we as a DevOps engineer, before applying it, right, so you should, if you have a look at it, Terraform plan, what I am supposed to do it, that is what it is doing it. Don't
Got it.
blindly go for apply. So those are
Got
the
it.
issues on a day-to-day we have faced it.
Yeah. It's like a very simple issue, right? Whatever you talked about is you are upgrading to a new version of Terraform, and probably they did not maintain the backward compatibility, or there are some breaking changes in the new version, right?
Yeah.
So as a DevOps engineer, probably what you need to do before even upgrading to the new version, first of all, you need to read what are the new changes in the new version, right?
Correct.
And
Yeah.
you have to make those changes first in your CI pipeline. Only then upgrade to the new version, right?
Yeah.
And probably whoever is watching this video, they can also explain it during their interviews that these are some common problems we face.
Correct.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Thanks for a wonderful example. Now, something interesting came to my mind when you said that, luckily you were blessed with the development background, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So, do you think anyone who is trying to pursue DevOps, right?
Yeah.
All the DevOps aspirants, do you think they
Yeah.
need to have development background, or like when I'm talking about development background, do you think they have to do development for 2 to 3 years and only then come to DevOps, or you think that someone can start with DevOps as well? What is your take on it?
See, I mean, I feel if you have a learning zeal, right, you should be able
Yeah,
to pick it up. It is not a rocket science. Simple, right?
perfect.
Anyone can should be able to do it. It's again, whenever you face one same issue, right, just try to analyze it. That analyzing part, if you are able to do it, you should be able to handle it. Uh,
Awesome.
Again, this comes with the practice. Okay, so
Practice.
first time you should be able to. I mean, you may take half an hour. Okay, to
Yes.
create a some resources, right? Half an hour it may take. Second time onwards, say 20 minutes. Third time it
Yeah,
will be 5 minutes, or you will become an expert on that bit itself, right?
definitely.
So it is again. It is not a rocket science. You should be able to practice it out. Okay, so I've helped many people in order to learn the new bit. But again, if you have a zeal, right, you should be able to handle it. And there are few of the
Perfect.
common errors are there. For example, if you are deploying a Java application, right?
Yeah,
So common errors will be there, out of memory error, right? So your Kubernetes cluster, you have it. So you had say 10 GB of a node, right? Just a hypothetical example.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So already 10 GB you have installed it. I mean, you have used it. All the pods it has used it. Okay.
Yeah.
So say, I mean, 40 pods were there running. 40 pods has used 10 GB of memory, right?
Yes.
Then if you try to deploy it 41 pod, okay, there
Yeah,
is no memory. Okay, it is expecting say half a gig of a memory. Okay,
yeah,
then you try to deploy it. Obviously, it will be in a failed state, right? It will
definitely.
clearly
Yeah,
give you the error message, right?
yeah,
You should go and just do a kubectl describe that particular pod. You should be
yes.
able to list out the proper error. Some of the times in the open source community, the error will be a static error kind of a thing, or
Yeah,
static
yeah,
exactly the same error. It won't split it out, but most of the cases it will be there. Okay, so that you should be able to analyze it. Again, first time
makes
you won't
sense.
be able to understand it. Second time
Makes sense.
onwards, you should be able to, okay, you can relate it. Okay, boss, this I got it earlier.
Yeah,
This was the thing. So either you scale your nodes. So those are the things you need to do it. For example, in Java, out of memory you will give it. If you do a describe on your pod,
yeah,
or go inside the logs itself, there also you should be able to see out of memory error or Spring Boot
perfect.
application, right?
Perfect.
So those kind of a thing. It is again, it comes with the experience. If first you will face the error, second time onwards, you will be, I
Yeah,
mean, you should have that zeal to understand, okay, this error means this, and this is the
yeah,
solution. Our
perfect.
DevOps is, it's basically step of processes. There is no way it cannot, I mean, it is again, your thinking hat should be, if this is happens, this happens. That's it.
Perfect.
Other than that, nothing else. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I totally second your thoughts. Even I feel that as a DevOps engineer, one of your key skills should be, the zeal to learn as well as zeal to debug, right? Because there are so many things that are happening, and people will look up to you in your organization to fix a lot of things, right? So
Yeah.
you are the key person, and do not just come to DevOps because someone told you that DevOps is easy, or someone
Yeah.
told you that there is no scripting in DevOps, there is no
Yeah.
coding in DevOps. I've seen a lot of people picking up DevOps for these reasons. But
Yeah.
yeah, go ahead, please.
And some of the guys, what they ask is, I mean, I'm getting so and so package. If
Yeah,
I learn few certification, right?
yeah,
And can I get double salary or 100% hike? So
yeah,
similar, whatever the money you will be getting, right? According to that, work also it will be there. Okay,
yeah,
so you will get a stress. If my suggestion would be, if you are a beginner, learn the things
yeah.
and next go ahead, right?
Hmm.
I have seen just one thing I wanted to add, Abhishek. I've seen many of the beginners who has done architect level certification in
Yeah,
AWS.
yeah,
So they haven't done a single pod deployment into the production. Okay,
yeah,
nothing against anyone, but
yeah.
my sincere belief is first you work on it, okay,
Hmm. Hmm.
and then get certified, right?
Makes sense.
So
Makes sense.
then only you will understand the thing. By highlighting something, somehow you will clear the exam, but
Yeah.
on real time you'll be literally facing a hell lot of issues. My
Awesome.
suggestion would be learn it, okay, and then
Awesome.
get certified.
Awesome. Yeah. And I want to close this discussion with a very infamous question these days, right? Many people have this question that what is going to be the future of DevOps and cloud? And
Yeah,
because you have been in the industry from last 20 years, I
yeah,
believe that you might have seen a lot of trends going up, going down, right? And
yeah,
probably for you, it's another trend, which is hyped or overhyped. So
yeah.
I would like to ask you, what do you think about it? Where do you see the future of DevOps going?
See, the thing is, I will tell you my journey, right?
Yeah.
Started my first year engineering in 1999. Okay,
Hmm.
then 2K came in picture. Okay,
Yeah.
.com.
Yeah.
Earlier that time in India, we used to get the Times of India. There is a IT Ascent, one page used to be
Yes.
coming on
Yes.
Wednesdays. All the IT related jobs it will be there. When I started computer science engineering in 99. 2K that came, done, everything gone. That IT Times of India, that itself it stopped. Okay.
Yes. Yes.
After 3 years, everything it got sorted. Okay. Then again, the probably there was a bit of hard work. It was required.
Yes.
People struggling to get the jobs, but it was solved. Again,
Yes.
2008 came. Again, we faced the issues,
Hmm.
but again it picked up. Okay. So AI or I mean, now it is AI or I mean, everyone say AI will take our job, this, that, and
Yeah.
all, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So what I will say is, see, the thing is, again, these are all tools and technologies. With that
Hmm.
one, you should be able to use that and excel it, right? Earlier,
Improve efficiency.
correct. It will
Hmm.
improve your efficiency. Earlier,
Hmm.
it was same task. If it is, it used to take 1 week to prepare some
Yeah.
document. As part of our knowledge hub, we will create a documentation, those stuffs, right?
Yes. Yes.
So earlier, it used to take say 1 week, kind of, not
Yeah.
1 week, say 3 days, kind of a thing, 2 to 3
Exactly.
days.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, within a 1 or 2 hour, with the help of ChatGPT, or get the data from there, cleanse it, modify it. So probably half an hour, I mean, 2 hours, within 2 hours, you should be able to complete your documentation. It
Perfect.
is a plus for you. Okay. It is not a negative for you. Okay.
Hmm.
And if you talk about AI, right? What is AI? It is basically depends on the data. If data, it is a crap in, crap out. Simple, right? Everyone wants to build their own data, but
Yeah.
last 6 years, I'm working on the data platform side itself, right?
Okay.
So
Okay.
basically, DevOps world, right? So if AI is the next future, AI depends on the data. Okay.
Data
Data, how exactly processing it will happen? The data has to be,
provided,
yeah,
trained.
data modified, trained, and all, right? ETLs
Yes.
has to run and all. Where exactly it will be run? It is, again, it's on the cloud, right?
Yeah.
So obviously, if AI goes up as well, those jobs, another different sets of jobs still be coming, right?
Hmm. Makes sense.
If you require a cloud, that means that you have a DevOps jobs. It
Yeah.
will be there in fact, and you need to these extra tools. It will help you in handling your jobs better,
Perfect.
right? Work-life balance. It will be it will be coming, right? So with
Awesome.
using these tools, that is what I believe.
Yeah. So thank you so much once again for being here and sharing your entire journey and how does your work look like. Any final things that you want to mention to the subscribers or people who are watching this? Probably any DevOps tips or whatever you would like to share as a closing note.
Yeah. What I would suggest to you is just practice it out. Okay. So my suggestion would be rather than concentrating on any certification, you do the practice. Okay. Whatever
Awesome.
small code. Okay. Open a GitHub account. There are a hell lot of projects are available. Okay.
Yes.
Copy it. And all the clouds are giving you free watches and all the stuff. Right.
Yes.
Take that. Okay. You have take a help of your mummy, daddy, or whoever has a cards, right?
Yeah.
Get 100 pound, $100 whatever it is, right? You learn it. Okay. Even students, if there are any students are there, right? All these cloud provider, they give it a
Free.
less
Free
yeah.
also. Also these days, everything, there are a lot of vouchers. There are a lot of, if you go to an event also, or if you attend a
Yeah.
seminar. So there
Yeah.
is a lot of ways to get free vouchers if you are interested.
Correct. You take that, right? Those vouchers and build a one small application from
Hmm.
front end from your, if you hit the URL, and until pod, right? You build that particular application. Okay.
Perfect.
If you go to GoDaddy or any hosting provider, right, 100 rupees or 200 rupees, you will get a
Yes.
nice DNS name itself, whatever your name
Yes.
itself,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
By set up the end-to-end bud,
End-to-end
right?
flow.
Yes, and practice it. That is what I would suggest, right?
Awesome. My take
If
is
you,
also same.
yeah. Only thing is, if you practice it, our human nature, right? If you practice it, you will know it better. Okay. Sometimes
Awesome.
my self-feeling is, if you watch any Udemy videos and all those, but right, I'll get sleep. Okay. So
Yeah.
what I say is, do coding, test it out, then it will be there in your memory. No one cannot
Practical
take.
learning. Basically, you
Yes,
want to suggest the
yes,
practical learning way. Do
hands-on,
a lot of
hands-on practice.
projects, do a lot of hands-on. Uh,
Yeah.
I mean, don't be afraid of failures. Fail, fail, and finally you'll succeed.
Multiple times you failed, you break it. Okay,
Yeah.
it's not end of the story, right? End of the world.
Yeah.
You break it. You do hell lot of deleting stuff, creating
Exactly.
stuff. Again, it's free. You're not destroying the world, right? It is
Yeah.
you're deleting the infrastructure. You delete it, create it, delete it. Multiple times you do it. That
Awesome.
would give you more confidence. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Sangamesh. We would like to see you in the future on a different podcast. And also, I've seen you sharing a lot of content on your LinkedIn, and you're also posting a lot of useful resources and videos. Please continue the community work, and yeah, hopefully we'll build better community together someday.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Amish,
Thanks. Thanks.
for calling me. Thank you. It was nice talking to you.
Yeah.
And you.